Hi folks, how are you all doing? Alright, so I just thought that I would log on to do a quick reading because I'm about to head home. Did some work done at the home today, the retirement home, and I'm gonna head up now. So I said let me do a quick reading for you guys. So let's just get right into it. So welcome to Karen Vibes Reading for the Mature Audience. The name of our book, Flowers in the Attic, and it's written by Virginia Andrews. So I'm going to do a quick, maybe 1 or 2 pages. So we're just going to pick up back from where we left off yesterday. So we're still at chapter 17. Alright, let me start back from where Kathy was talking about what she dreamt. So I'm just going to read back this part here. Mommy, mommy, mommy. Her blonde hair flowed as silken, streaming ribbons, writhing forward on the floor to snare us both like snakes. Slithering coils of her hair twined up and around our legs to creep nearer our throats, trying to strangle us into silence. No threat to her inheritance then. I love you, I love you, I love you, she whispered, without words. I woke up, but Chris slept on and on, just as the twins did. So that part from where we were reading yesterday was Kathy talking about what she was dreaming, what she dreamt. So let's read on. I grew up desperate as I grew desperate as sleep wanted to come and take me again. I tried to fight it off, the terrible drowsiness of drowning, and then again I was sunken deep in dreams. In nightmarish dreams, I ran wild into the dark, and into a pool of blood I fell. So she fell asleep again and dreaming again. So she's talking about her dream. I ran wild into the dark, and into a pool of blood I fell. Blood sticky as tar, smelling of tar, and diamond-spangled fish with swan heads and red eyes came and nibbled on my arms and legs, so they went numb and unfeeling. And the fish with the swan heads laughed and laughed and laughed and laughed, glad to see me done in, and made bloody all over. See, see, they shouted in whiny voices that echoed and re-echoed. You can't get away, they said. The morning came pale behind the heavy drawn draperies that shut out the yellow light of hope. Carrie turned over in her sleep and cuddled up closer to me. Mommy, mommy, she murmured. I don't like this house. Her silky hair on my arm felt like goose down, as slowly feeling began to return to my hands and arms, and feet and legs. I lay still on the bed as Carrie squirmed restlessly, wanting my arms about her, and I felt so drugged. I couldn't move my arms. What was wrong with me? My head so heavy as if it were stuffed full of rocks, so my skull was pressured from the inside, and the pain was so great my skull was likely to split wide open. My toes and fingers still tingled. My body was leaden. My body was heavy. The walls advanced, then retreated, and nothing had straight vertical lines. I tried to see my reflection in the shimmering mirror across the way, yet when I tried to turn my swollen head, it refused to budge. And always before I went to sleep, And always before I went to sleep, I spread my hair on my pillow so I could turn my head and nestle my cheek in the sweet smelling silkiness of very pampered, well cared for, healthy, strong hair. It was one of the sensual things I enjoyed, the feel of my hair against my cheek to take me into sweet dreams of love. You know, as I'm reading, you know what I think happened, folks? I'm not going to tell you now, listen. Here she describing how her head feel heavy and what have you. Listen, because I think I know what the grandmother came in the night and did. Let's dream on. Let's dream on. Let's read on. And yet, today, there was no hair on my pillow. Where was my hair? Listen, guys. The scissors, they still lay on the dresser top. I could vaguely see them. Swallowing repeatedly to clear the way, I forced out a small cry, uttering Chris' name, not Mummy's. I prayed to God to make him let my brother hear. Chris, Chris. I finally managed to whisper in the strangest, gritty voice. Something is the matter with me. My whispered, weak words roused Chris, though I don't know how he heard. He sat up and sleepily rubbed his eyes. What you want, Kathy? He asked. I mumbled something that took him from the bed, and in his rumpled blue pajamas, his hair a golden mop, he ambled over to my bed. He jerked up short. He drew in his breath and made small gasping sounds of horror and shock. I knew, folks. I knew the grandmother was going to do this. I knew it. That wicked woman. Guess what she did? Listen on. Kathy, oh my God, exclaimed Chris. His cry sent shivers of fear down my spine. Kathy, oh Kathy, he moaned. As he stared and as I wondered what he was seeing that made his eyes bulge, I tried to lift my heavy arms and feel my swollen, heavy head. Somehow I managed to get my hands up there, and that's when I found a loud voice to scream, really scream, over and over again. I howled like someone demented until Chris ran to gather me in his arms. Oh my God. My mind tell me this was what the grandmother's gonna do, you know. Stop, please stop, he sobbed. Remember the twins. Don't scare them more. Please, don't scream again. Kathy, they've been through so much, and I know you don't want to scare them. I know you don't want to scar them permanently. And you will if you don't calm down. It's all right. I'll get rid of it. I swear on my life that today, somehow, I'll get the tar from your hair. Oh my goodness, what a wicked woman. So the grandmother come in the night and put tar on Cassie's head. Oh my God, I'm telling you people, you have some people in this world. This is just a story, but I'm telling you, you have some people in this world that are really wicked and evil and just do some things that are just not nice. I'm telling you, you'd be surprised. Let's read on. He found a small red prick on my arm where the grandmother had plunged in a hypodermic needle to keep me asleep with some drug. Oh my God, imagine that. And while I slept, she had poured hot tar on my hair. She must have gathered it all into a neat bunch before she used the tar, for not a strand was left free of the gook. Oh my God. Chris tried to keep me from looking in the mirror, but I shoved him away and had to stare with my mouth agape as a horrible black blob that was my head now, like a huge wad of black bubble gum, chewed and left in an unsightly mess. It even ran down my face and streaked my cheeks with black tears. I looked, and I knew that he'd never get the tar out. Never. So she poured the tar, the grandmother poured the hot tar on Cassie's head while Cassie was asleep. So you see, now she's going to have to cut it off because that tar can't come out. Corey woke up first, ready to run to the windows and draw aside the closed drapes and peek outside to see the sun that kept hiding from him. He was out of bed and ready to dash to the windows when he saw me. His eyes widened, his lips parted, his small fluttering hands reached upwards to rub at his eyes with fists. And then he was staring at me again with so much disbelief. "Kathy," he managed finally. "Is that you?" "I guess it is," I said. "Why is your hair black?" Before I could reply to that question, Carrie was awake. "Ooh!" she owled. "Kathy, your head looks funny." Big tears came to glisten her eyes and slide down her cheeks. "I don't like your head now," she wailed, then began to sob as if the tar were on her hair. Wow, this part is so sad. What a wicked people, what a wicked grandmother, man. What a wicked woman to do that. Do this to her granddaughter. I know when she put down the scissors and walk out, I know she's gonna come back in the night and do something, either secretly cut it off with the scissors or do something like this. That's so not nice. So we're gonna leave it right there, folks. As I said, this was just a little quickie reading. So we'll stop right there, still at chapter 17, and when we come back we will pick up from there. So I hope you enjoy that little bit. I start getting very excited now, very excited, because this part of the book is where they get into the climax, the drama. Yep. So we could come back, we read on and find out what happened and what they're gonna do and what have you. Okay, folks, so I'm out of here. Enjoy the rest of the evening. As I usually say, do remember to like, subscribe, and share. Please send me your comments. And folks, my offer with the tea is still open. So if you buy one, you get one free. You buy two, you get one free. Or it depends. It depends. So my offer is still open. And even if you don't purchase, I'm still giving my subscribers and my listeners a jar of tea. So my offer is still open. So just inbox me, message me, let me know where you are, and I'll see how I can get it to you. Alright, folks, enjoy the rest of the evening, and I'll catch you again in short order. Peace out.